All right, let's just keep it real. This school year has been absolutely unique. Yes, 2020 is going to go down as a year that we all remember, especially those that are in the schools, right? In school, right? Education market has taken a tremendous shift, and we have a lot of students who are not only being in school, but we see more and more students taking classes online. Yes, whether that's middle school or even elementary, even preschool, right? Preschool, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, and even grad students. Many of them now are actually going to school online. And we're seeing more and more students participate in online degree programs and getting online degrees. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you three cool things that I believe will help you have your best school year ever, even if you're online. And guess what? I'm going to do that today with a very special guest. Welcome to the Kantis Simmons Show.
Hey!
All right. Well, welcome to the Kantis Simmons Show. As you can see, I have a very amazing, beautiful guest that absolutely looks like me. Sort of a twin a little bit. Yeah, we have some things in common. If you guys would, welcome my big little sister, the Dr. Mia Simmons.
Hey, good morning. Hello,
Good morning.
everyone. Hello.
So we're saying this morning because I got her up super duper early to film this episode. My sister, she is preparing to get married to a great young man. What's up, Ronnie? What's up, sir? But so my sister, she's leaving today. She's been in town the last few days. And I was like, hey, you know, we've been talking about it for a while to do this episode to talk about online school, online college. And so tell us, how did you... Okay, so I know when I left home, I went to school, went to college, and then you decided to go to North Carolina A&T.
State University. Mm-hmm.
You got to put that on there?
Yes, Aggie Pride.
All right. So Norfolk State, well, I went to Norfolk State, but North Carolina A&T State University is a historical black college.
Yes, HBCU.
Yep. And so what did you major in at North Carolina A&T?
I majored in computer science. So our engineering program is highly, I want to say, reputable.
Okay.
For HBCU. So North Carolina A&T still ranks at the top for engineering.
Okay. So you went there 4 years.
4 years.
Then you decided to go to grad school.
Yep. I stayed for additional 2 years and I got my master's in information technology.
Master's in information technology. All right, cool. So after getting the master's and you start working for a while.
Yeah, well, I only worked for about 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
I moved to Cleveland. I started working for an engineering company that I'm still with now after 13 years. And after a year, I was like, I'm not done with education yet. I got one more degree to get. And actually, I started maybe 9 months into the job. And I actually started online because my manager at the time did not want me to go back to school.
So your manager didn't want you to go back to school. Was that because of time commitment?
I guess he felt like it was time commitment, but it was more so I was new to the company, so he wanted me to get familiar with the company. But I had been there 9 months, so I kind of knew how everything was.
And 9 months?
9 months.
And
I think 9 months.
Okay.
9 months. I know how to manage my time. But also I didn't want anyone to put me in a box.
Okay. So you're working this corporate job. After 9 months, you decided to go to online school.
Yep.
All right. And so what did you do with the online school?
I actually started researching some of the top online schools I wanted to go on a more of a global leadership program that combined engineering with my information systems program. So I actually went to University of Phoenix.
Okay.
It's actually a good online school, and come to find out they did have a local building not too far from my job. So if I needed help, I can actually go to the school to get some help.
So if you guys remember, like back in the day, like if you went to like an online school, like the University of Phoenix, some of us we felt like that wasn't a real school. Like, oh, you going to online school? Like, really? Oh, everybody was going to University of Phoenix. But it's amazing right now today.
Right.
Online school, getting a degree online is like the thing right now, right? And you know, they have some people who are doing it because It works better for their career,
Right.
works better for their lifestyle.
Right.
But we have more and more people now, just because of the pandemic, just because of the shutdowns. Hey, all of the schools have been shifting to,
Right.
they call it virtual, but a lot of schools have been shifting to online degree programs. So you started with the online degree program. Mm-hmm. How long did that take for you?
I went consistently for 3 years.
Okay.
So for 3 years, you're talking about homework, writing papers every weekend. I'm not talking about a 2-page paper. I'm talking about 5 to 8 pages every week.
All right.
So,
but you were working on your...
I was still working on my doctorate.
Okay.
Leadership and Organization for Global Information Systems.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So it's like a business engineering degree mixed together.
Cool. So how long did it take you to get the online degree program?
3 years consistently. No breaks.
So 3 years consistently. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, so you're working. You have an online degree program. I know you do some amazing things in the area
Mm-hmm.
with your mentorship program. You stay in business. You say one of the cool things, I don't know how we got into our family blood, but you know, I help students. My sister helps students. My
other brother helps
my
students.
brother helps students. Probably I get my brother Brian on here one day to talk about the amazing things he's doing with his music school. So with all the things that you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
how now you've always been that type of person. Like I never understood. Like why were you always? My sister's worked so many jobs. Like I don't get it. I don't understand. Like I don't know your financial situation. I've always known you were going to school and you were working, going to school and working, going to school and working. How did you stumble into being a professor? How did you stumble into being a professor?
I think it started.
I don't know if you stumbled. I don't know if it was a planned or it was just another job.
No, I've always had an urge
Mm-hmm.
to actually be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I realized elementary school was not for me. No,
Mm-hmm.
those kids I can't do.
Mm-hmm.
Middle school students, they talk back too much, so I really can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then high school students, they too grown. So for me, I just know I couldn't put myself in an environment where I could possibly risk my career.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, when I was in college, I had a great professor and African American woman, engineering instructor. She was very motivating to
Mm-hmm.
see an African American woman in engineering actually over the department, actually facilitating classes, and actually she cared about the students.
Mm-hmm.
You had some professors that was just like, here's your work, go do it. On the other end, she was the one that made me realize, hey, I could do this too.
Right.
I could give back and make an impact in the classroom.
Okay.
So that's how I started.
Cool. So you decided to be a professor, and was that a physical professor or was it all online?
I initially started as a physical professor to see how the classroom would work. I started at a small school in Akron. They had one class.
That's Akron, Ohio.
Akron, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I had one class for 4 weeks, and we met twice a week.
Okay.
The class was 4 hours long. So 4 hours long on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
So like 8 hours.
8 hours,
Mm-hmm.
but you went every week for 4 weeks.
Okay.
And it was an intro to computer class, so something easy, Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to be in the environment of the classroom and making sure I understand how to format my assignments and help the students put together tests, final exams.
Cool. So it was an in-class professor.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you end up getting into becoming an online professor?
Well, I do enjoy the in-classroom setting, but the on-classroom setting kind of challenged me a little bit more, meaning I had to manage my time just a little bit better. I couldn't just make up a lesson right before I walked into the classroom. But I started looking at some online schools. The last school I was at, South University in Cleveland, Ohio, I was over the IT department. So they had online IT classes and they had in-classroom IT classes. So because I was the program director, I had to become familiar with both platforms. So I would teach some online classes and I would teach in-person classes to kind of balance out. Mm-hmm. So that's how I became an online instructor.
So based on everything that's going on right now, are you an online professor because of choice, or are you an online professor because of COVID?
Both, because I'm at 2 different schools.
What? So you always like get these multiple jobs, like just getting multiple checks, okay? All right. So one school, so one was by choice and one was because of COVID.
Right.
All right. So which one was because of COVID?
University of Akron.
University of Akron. And what was the class you were teaching there?
Intro to Programming Logic.
Intro to Programming Logic. And the other one that was by choice is which one?
Is at the University of the Cumberlands. It is for our doctoral PhD students.
Okay, cool. So, all right. So we're talking about online school, right? So you've been a student.
Yep.
You're teaching students.
Mm-hmm.
You're helping students,
Mm-hmm.
and I definitely want to do this before we jump into some things to help you there. If you guys are having challenges with your study skills, or somebody's having challenges with your study skills, hey, definitely go check out my study skills challenge. Simply go over to bestschoolyourever.com, and I'm about to give you some things that are going to help you with the online program. But I do believe that if you understand some things, some habits, whether you're online or even in person, these 7 habits will help you make it your best school year ever. All right. So you can get access to my 7-day study skills challenge. Hey, just simply go over to bestschoolyourever.com. I just want to make sure you guys have that. All right. So let's jump right into it. All right. So let's talk about, now I've heard some things off camera, some of the challenges you've had with students, and they're funny. But I felt like this would be great information for my audience and people that are watching this podcast. So let's just deal with 3. I know we could probably go all day with this, right? All right. So let's just deal with the top 3 things that you feel would help online students. This would really help them have their best school year ever as an online student. What's number 1?
Number 1, I would say.
Oh, by the way, did you realize I wore purple for you?
I did realize that at the beginning. I didn't really say it.
A little brother love. I wear a little purple for myself. All right, cool. What's number 1?
Number 1, I would say check for announcements.
Mm-hmm.
Professors and instructors, we go out our way to make sure we post weekly announcements to make sure the students are aware of what's coming this week. I know it's a lot of moving parts. Some of them are working, some of them are at home, some of them are on campus. Some of them at home with their parents in middle school, high school, but check for announcements. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they can be sent directly to your student email, or they may not be sent depending on how the instructor has set up the platform. Mm-hmm. I make sure mine are sent directly to the student's email, so it is posted not only in the classroom announcement section, but they also receive an email from me.
So on most online platforms, they have a section where there are announcements and cool things like that. So this is the first thing, though. You mentioned checking for announcements as the first thing.
Yes.
Why is that such a big thing?
I would say because it's the first thing that pops up when you log into your student portal, student platform. Typically, it's a welcome announcement there. You always want to be personable with your students. You want to make sure they know that you are present, you are their instructor, and it gives them a insight of what's coming up. A lot of students don't check. And I think that if you look at the announcements, you can kind of prepare mentally what you're preparing for this week.
So you're saying that a lot of students just don't check for the announcement?
No, they click over and go to their grades or go to the assignments.
But by checking for the announcements, that in itself will help them have a better grade.
I think so. For example, I just did one last week. I had to inform my students they were going to have a test on Thursday. The test was going to be all day from 10 to 11.
And you put it in the announcements.
And I did a video announcement so they could see my face. So they would know.
So you did a video announcement, put it in the announcement box. Did you send an email as well?
And it goes to email,
Goes to email.
With my video in their email.
Okay, and people still didn't?
People still didn't check.
So they had a test on that day and we're not prepared?
Actually, I had a test on Thursday. I sent the announcement on Monday.
Wait a minute. So you sent it on Monday and the test was on Thursday. And people...
Still missed the test.
Missed the test because they didn't check the announcements.
Right.
All right, listen, you guys, check the announcements. Check the announcements. All right, cool. Let's jump into the second one.
I would say check your assignment dates, the due dates. Sometimes I know we have a syllabus where the instructors will put the assignments together, but sometimes those dates may be generic. They may have a day, meaning it's due on Thursday, but each quarter... I'll tell you the truth, professors, we copy syllabus from the previous semester to make it easier. However, inside of each section where the actual assignment needs to be submitted, we always have to submit a due date and the time. So even though you may have had another class where all their assignments may be due on Friday, you may have one instructor that says, no, all your assignments may be due on Sunday or even Saturday. So they may switch it up. And even then you may have other quizzes that may go on during that week. They may be due on Tuesday. But in your head, you're thinking, oh, well, it's due Friday, so I should be okay. But no, always go in at the beginning of each week when you see that announcement, go in and check for the actual due date so that you're not behind or you have a late assignment submitted.
All right, so checking for assignment due dates.
Due dates.
Due dates. And that's a problem because people turn stuff in last minute.
Last minute, or now what instructors, our administration have told us, if they don't submit it by the end of the week, by 11:59, you take the assignment down. So they won't be able to submit anything.
Oh, so y'all blocking.
Yeah.
Y'all blocking people from getting their assignments.
Yeah. Well, for the online school for our PhD students, you know that you've enrolled into an online program, so you need to manage your time appropriately. So for the PhD students, there's no leniency. It's due at the end of the week by 11:59. It comes down.
So are you finding that people who are in the traditional online programs that they're getting this?
They're getting it.
But people who are
pushed into it for
COVID, they are learning these things.
Yeah, they're learning.
Okay. Cool. So number 2, hey, check for assignment due dates.
Yes.
So number 1 was check for the announcements.
Check for the announcements.
And number 2 was check for the assignment due dates. All right, let's jump into number 3.
I say number 3, I don't care what level you're on. Pre-K, kindergarten, elementary, middle school, high school, undergraduate, graduate school, PhD. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Wow.
Don't be afraid to ask your instructor for help. They may have a FAQ section where you can submit questions, and then the students in the entire class can see those same questions, because you may have the same question that another student may have.
Right.
So if it's posted in that section, make sure you take the time to actually go in there and look in that section. Also, don't be afraid to email your instructor. I can't tell you how many emails I get, maybe at 11:30, 12 p.m. The night before the assignment is due.
You mean midnight?
Man, you want to say midnight, yeah.
You said 12 p.m.?
My bad. Midnight.
12 a.m., okay.
12 a.m. Where students are asking for help on assignment, but you're asking for it at the last minute. I can't really help you.
Wow.
So be proactive in asking for help.
Why do you think as a culture, why do we wait till the last minute to do stuff?
I don't know, because I do the same thing. I think it's in our genes.
Listen, I'm not really sure why people wait till the last minute to do things. But even in school, I guess it's the pressure, the pressure to get something done that keeps you focused. So now you have this deadline that's moving you to stay focused.
I would say adrenaline, because that's what it is for me.
It's like adrenaline. Okay, cool. But even with doing that, you wait until the last minute to get the assignment in. And then you're doing the assignment and you realize you need some help.
Right.
And then now you're asking for help at the last minute.
Right.
And expecting.
Yes.
Your teacher,
high expectations.
that your teacher
expectations.
That your teacher is up and available to answer your beck and call.
Right.
All right. So number 3 is, listen, ask for help. Yes. Ask for help. I know we didn't talk about this. I remember you mentioned this to me years ago. People sending in their assignments and writing as if they are texting, right?
Lord Jesus.
Right, so let's talk about that.
I didn't know we was going to talk about pet peeves today.
Because I think I've seen this a few times. All right. So what we're talking about, well, I'll let you tell it.
So I have doctoral students. Now I have undergraduate students. They submit writing assignments, or maybe a discussion post, or they may add a note to an assignment. And they type the message as if they're typing on their cell phone, as if they're sending someone a text message. People is PEOPLE, not PPL. I should always be capitalized. And I have a lot of students that send me the lowercase I. And if I'm grading you on grammar, we have writing assignments or research papers, I'm going to automatically take off 5 points.
Are people putting emojis in their papers?
No, maybe not in their papers, but when they submit assignments in like the Dropbox, they'll send a nice message. The emoji is okay. That's all right. But not in the writing or research papers.
So all of us have a way of, I guess it's called shorthand text?
Shorthand texting, yes.
Like shorthand texting, right? And as a culture now, we text so much that this text language ends up in the research papers and the documents. Listen, if you're doing that, stop it.
Yes,
Stop it, okay? That's just a little pet peeve that she's have. I've seen it a few times. Also in emails.
Yes.
Emails are a little bit more professional. And I think at the end of the day, you have to understand who you're sending the message to.
Yes, know your audience.
Now, you have to know your audience, right? If I'm sending my sister an email or a text message or whatever, I probably can do that.
Right.
But if you're sending an assignment to your professor, hey, keep it professional. All right. So number one, to have your awesome best school year ever as an online student, number one, check for assignments. Listen, go in, make sure whether it's an email, whether it's an announcement, whether it's a video announcement, check for the assignments there with your teacher or your professor. Number two, check for the assignment due dates, right? Things are due, right? Get it done, get it in on time.
And prepare your schedule for the week.
Okay.
Because you have some students that may be working.
Mm-hmm.
So they may email you and say, hey, can you move that assignment to a different day?
To accommodate
them. And I don't do that. That's why I make sure I post announcements at the beginning of the week.
Good. And number three, ask for help. Yes, ask for help. If you need help, open your mouth or send an email or send a whatever. Speak up to say, hey, I need help. I've always learned that a closed mouth will never get fed. All right, so open your mouth and ask for help. But listen, don't ask for help at the last minute. All right. Have you guys enjoyed my sister, Dr. Mia Simmons? Has this information been helpful for you? Has it? Well, listen, don't be so greedy where you keep this to yourself. Now, I'm pretty sure you know of another student or family or individual that's in an online program. Hey, if you've enjoyed this, hey, be so kind to share this with them. Also, if you want to participate in my study skills challenge, simply go over to bestschoolyierever.com. It's a free challenge helping you and giving you some tips, some tools, some tricks to make this your best school year ever, showing you how to take notes, showing you how to understand your learning style, showing you how to prepare for tests. Simply go over to bestschoolyierever.com. Well, little Dr. Mia Simmons, I appreciate you being here.
No problem there, Bob. No problem.
I appreciate you being here. I guess that's the least I could do for her, having me turn my air up and shut my air down and turn my heat up and turn my heat down and all of that. So I guess that's part of the dormitory fees that you've been paying this last 2 days. ×2 for Ronnie as well. All right, listen, man. On behalf of my family, listen, make this an awesome school year. Right? You get one opportunity this school year. I mean, you can get more opportunities. You can get kept back. People still get kept back? Or they fail?
Maybe in the elementary school.
Elementary school, no child left behind, though.
Yeah. But I think that's another topic.
Listen, if you've enjoyed this, hey, share it with somebody. If you've missed some of all the other amazing episodes that I have out there in the podcast land, on the YouTube, on the Facebook, hey, go back and check on those. Listen, I'm Kantis Simmons. This is Mia Simmons. Listen, we're the coolest family where one of our brothers have 7.25 fingers. And I want to say this, in everything that you do, play your A game. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Hey!